Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back to another movie review. And like I promised, I would review this film during sometime this weekend. So, and now I'm getting into it. And it's a film that this one is I consider one of my favorite animated films. I'm sure I could say for a lot of people will consider this film a favorite animated film of theirs as well. Because this one's a very classic animated film, if not one of the best ones. And so now I'm going to be reviewing The Secret of NIMH. So like I said, for anyone who's ever seen The Secret of NIMH, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people have seen it and enjoyed it. A very classic animation film, especially directed by Don Bluth, who directed more classic films. He go to direct on American Tail, and then he go to direct another favorite anime film of mine, The Land Before Time. Um, then he directed Anastasia. That's considered his most successful box office film. Other ones. There was another one that he directed. He also directed Titan AE. That was a flop. He also had some missteps with some anime films like The Pebble and the Penguin and the Troll in Central Park. Um, what was the other one I'm thinking of that? Oh yeah, that's one I missed. How can I forget? I forget? He also directed All Dogs Go to Heaven. How can I forget? That's another favorite anime film of mine. So yeah, the Secret of NIMH, The Land Before Time, All Dogs Go to Heaven, American Tail. Don Bluth is considered a great animated director. Yeah, I know it's like he had some missteps with those other anime films that didn't do well though. But for everyone who knows, the four best ones he probably considered directing is if not five. This film, Land Before Time, All Dogs Go to Heaven, American Tail, and Anastasia. But this one I really do enjoy. I would put this. It's hard between for me, hard to decide which one, especially with All Dogs Go to Heaven and The Land Before Time, and putting this one. I can't probably decide which of those three would be considered a favorite out of all those films he directed. It's hard for me to tell though, because those are such great classic animated films. Especially I love Land Before Time because for a while back, I had the poster back there. Like right there. But The Secret of NIMH, and it's also and I also which it was considered what was great about it, how it was like a dark fantasy. Just the way the animation looked, was absolutely spectacular with the usage of making it dark, edgy. I could say edgy because that's what it looked like, and with mixing with fantasy. That's how one of the things I really enjoy this film. I really do enjoy the film. And the voice and it was also when I was considering that also it was also Don Bluth and his This was the first film directing. Which I do believe. And he's also got an excellent voice casting as well. You have Elizabeth Hartman who voices Mrs. Brisby. One thing sad about Elizabeth Hartman is that it was released in 1982, and this is she was nominated for a Golden Globe for what I forget which film. But this was released in 1982, and this is the last film she did, and she died and passed away at sadly a young age of 43 in the year 1987. She committed suicide. For those who don't know about Elizabeth Hartman. It was because she was depressed and she jumped out of the fifth-story window from her apartment. Nasty way to go. But that's sad. But because she did such a fantastic job of voicing Mrs. Brisby, she did such a great job. So yeah, just gotta give credit to that. Yeah, because Mrs. Brisby is a very enjoyable, likable, lovable character. And I enjoy the character of Mrs. Brisby a lot. Dom DeLuise, who was like considered like a regular for Don Bluth voicing, and All Dogs Go to Heaven, especially I love him as Itchy in All Dogs Go to Heaven. He continued voicing in the sequels and then the TV shows, which I do have. I love Dom DeLuise. That's another one who's now no longer with us. He's a very funny guy, which I love, voicing in these films, He voices Jeremy the Crow, as like Itchy and All Dogs Go to Heaven. Forget what was the orange cat's name in American Tail. I forget the name. I think it was Tiger. I think it was. I forget though, but I believe that was the name though. But yeah, he voices the orange cat in American Tail. It's too bad that he didn't voice in Land Before Time though. Like most of the films that he voiced in Don Bluth's films, but not the Land Before Time. But and also the film well, I don't know, I'm 6 minutes in. I'm talking about the story though, but I'll talk about their obsession after. So, but I want to get into the story. We're talking about the film. So the film opens up with the a rat called named Nicodemus. You could maybe say he's a sorcerer, with magic and stuff, Nicodemus, voiced by Derek Jacobi. And that's another. He did a good job voicing as Nicodemus as well, And also just an update about this guy, Derek Jacobi. He voices Nicodemus, and he's also just recently appeared in the new movie Cinderella as the king, Just for anyone who doesn't know, If anyone knows about the Secret of NIMH, the character Nicodemus, the guy voicing Derek Jacobi, he recently starred in the new Cinderella movie as the king, Just want to point that out. And he's writing in his journal. As he's writing, it lights up as well, talking about Jonathan Brisby, talk about that he died, and talk about how his wife, Mrs. Brisby, and and he's putting the stone in the box, and opens it with Mrs. Brisby because she's who's a mouse, and her family lives in this they live inside a cinder block basically, and she has 4 kids. I think which one of them is sick. One of them is sick, which she sought to get missing. Timothy or Timmy, Another son named Martin. Two daughters. When I get the names, Cynthia and Teresa. So, and of course, one who's looking after the children is Mrs. Shrew. Yeah, Auntie Shrew. So while she's watching the kids, Mrs. Brisby went to see another mouse named Mr. Ages to help with his son because he came down with ammonia, and he helped to fix like a little bit of medicine to put in in a broth, or soup, to give to him. And he cannot be moved from his bed at all. The chill air will kill him, if you take him outside, So she goes to Mr. Ages. He doesn't want her to touch anything in his room, with all the stuff, So he gives her the medicine. She leaves. On the way, pardon me. She meets the Crow, Jeremy, voiced by Dom DeLuise, who's all tangled up in string, And the character I like Jeremy Don DeLuise. Don DeLuise he always does a funny way of doing the comedic roles. Especially in this dark film, you had to have like sort of a comedic character in the film. And Don DeLuise, he did a good job as Jeremy. So she helps him cut off some of the strings they tangle in. And she tells them to be on the lookout for a cat named Dragon, who lives, where they live is near a farmer's house, Um, and they have a cat. And the farmers they have a cat and named Dragon, and the cat's coming towards them, and because Jeremy says he's allergic to cats, starts sneezing. He sneezes in the cat's face, and they get chased by the cats, but they both manage to get away, and first that Mrs. Brisby thought she lost the medicine, but Jeremy had it, gives it to her. So she heads back to the house, gives them the medicine, and as they wait out, because also the kids are like kind of like annoying Mrs. Auntie Shrew, but also if like she knows about they know about her husband's death, it's a it's a tragedy, And until the next, they said that she advises them to move, because the moving days, moving days, like they have a tractor, the farmers have a tractor, and they start mowing, I guess, the plowing in the field, Auntie Shrew wants them to move, but they can't because they can't move Timmy out of bed, because he's sick, So by the next morning, they said it comes a little bit early. The farmer starts plowing, and she wants to does something to stop the tractor, and Auntie Shrew helps, cuts the fuel lines, so it stops the tractor, So she wants to know what can they do, how can they especially they can't move the family, they have to move their home, So she and Mrs. Brisby and Jeremy, they want which Auntie Shrew gives them advice to see the great owl, So they both fly to see the great owl, which Mrs. Brisby was like to talk to Jeremy because she's flying with Jeremy's like, I cannot believe you talked me into this, And of course she's also frightened to see the great owl because the great owl eats mice, So she's afraid. She's first afraid to go and see him, But so they ride, and it's all the big thorny tree, and first because she's scared to go in, but then the owl says, come in or leave, So she goes in, and really, remember the atmosphere look of the film was really well done, Like when she's moving in, there comes out some bones that's been eaten by the great owl, and also comes to doesn't know there's this big creepy looking spider, starts coming up towards her, very creepy looking spider, but then it gets crushed by the great owl, and this is how the character of this great owl, He's like sort of like a gross looking kind of owl because he's an old owl, but he's also like covered in cobwebs, covered is this, he says, why are you? He's asking why are you here, she's asking for how to move their home, At first he doesn't know what to do, but we comes to realize that she is the wife of Jonathan Brisby, So then he offers him, gives her away, to go see the rats in this where the rose bush is that's near the house, that's where they live, And of course, with the farmers, which they called NIMH, which is called National Institute of Mental Health, to come exterminate all the rodents, So that's what NIMH is, So they called NIMH to come over to exterminate the rats, though, So that's where the great owl tells Mrs. Brisby. So before he flies off, still covered in webs, So the early on, sometime later, they come near the road. She's at the rose bush, and where the dragon is sleeping nearby, and Jeremy's has just got himself in one of the clothing, one of the laundry to hide from the dragon, but he keeps on he's allergic. He feels like he's going to sneeze, when he sneezes, but Mrs. Brisby tells him to go keep an eye on the children, So he does that, and as she goes inside, which the rose bush is like underneath the rose bush, and she comes across this big rat, like a big guard. She starts attacking her, This lake's like gritty, dark looking, animation, you know. But then she meets Mr. Ages, who has a broken leg, you know, and tells her, oh, he's protecting, you know, protecting the place, you know. So as they're walking, he comes across the captain guard, another rat named Justin, who is a very friendly rat, you know, and who also knows of Jonathan Brisby, you know. So they go down to where the other rats are, the council, having a meeting, you know, and she's asking, well, why does everybody know why is asking everyone knows who her husband is, you know. And of course, then you meet our villain of the film, another a big rat named Jenner. He plans to his plan to kill Nicodemus, so that way they don't have to move. They don't have to move to a place called Thorn Valley, you know, which is like a safe haven for them. So they don't want to move, so they can stay in the rose bush, you know. And he has this little was his partner or companion. What was another Sullivan is the other rat's name. They will tell that he was planning to kill Nicodemus, and of course, Sullivan, he's not entirely sure this is a good thing, you know. And the council, so he plans to play along and pretend to help Mrs. Brisby move her house, you know. So Justin, Mr. Aegis takes her to see Nicodemus, another little old age rat with glowing eyes, like same with the Great Owl, which Don Bluth attended an interview in the DVD release. I don't think it's on here though, but it says 2007 DVD release. I don't think this is though, but he said that the Nicodemus and the Great Owl, they were like the same character, you know, because they both had the glowing yellow eyes, you know, but almost the same design, but I don't think they're different though, but but she tells the tale. Look at tells the tale about her husband Jonathan. She reads in the book Reed's been writing, because she's literally learning how someone knows how to read, because her husband was teaching her some, you know. Tells the part that he died drugging they try to drug the cat Dragon, you know. And she tells him she asks what happened, and Nicodemus shows him this glowing orb, you know, like a thing that goes to tell us that shows what entirely happened with Jonathan. So because him and other mice and rats, they were captured, brought to NIMH, you know, with like an experimental lab, you know, on animals, you know, see some other animals in cages, you know. They ejected the rodents with some stuff, and it made them become more intelligent, you know. Like Nicodemus said that to help he knew how to read, and that's how they all end up escaping, you know. All the other mice were killed by going to this ventilation shaft, except for two, which was Mr. Aegis and Jonathan, and he had helped the rats escape as well, and that's why he's considered as a hero, you know. So. But what happened for her husband, you know, when Nicodemus gives Mrs. Brisby the stone, this necklace, which is the stone, you know, and saying that it was worn because she is worn by the courage of a heart, you know, that is rare, you know. But she's saying that Mrs. Brisby has courage and heart, you know. So they're both riding along. Tell them the plan to help move her house, you know, to the other side of the stone, called the lee of the stone. But she volunteers to help to put the stuff to drug Dragon, you know, so she volunteers. So they go they're underneath the house. She goes in. But she gets caught by the son of the farmers, you know. She gets caught and puts in the bird cage, you know. And even though I thought was kind of funny that when Justin sees that she got caught, he goes and says, "Damn," you know. Oh, okay. So well, I was like, in this kind of anime film, and the character says, "Damn," you know. I actually swore for one time, you know, saying, "Damn," you know. Okay. I know the film was dark enough, but I didn't know. First, I didn't know what they said that with leaving, like getting away with the saying getting away with leaving a swear word, you know, by saying "damn," you know, having that kind of character say that word, you know. But okay, I always thought that was kind of funny, you know. Justin says "damn," you know. Okay, I always thought that was kind of funny though. But yeah, but I get it going along with all this with the darkness of this world, you know, and fantasy, you know. So she gets caught put in the birdcage, and Justin runs off to tell the others. So as everybody's moving, has this contraption of moving the house, or the cinder block, you know, and the children and Auntie Shrew are all inside it, you know, as the cinder block's being lifted across to the other side. Jenner, he sees the opportunity at the right moments where where it's just over Nicodemus and cuts the rope, you know, when this is his companion Sullivan, he doesn't want to do it, you know, and so but Jenner goes and cuts the rope, and the block falls and crushes and kills Nicodemus. Um, and what next? So Jenner goes, says he's the one, he's now in charge, and he's now, since we can't lift the house, we have no choice but to go back inside and forget about Thorn Valley and continue living in the rose bush, you know. But then Mrs. Brisby manages to get out of the cage and goes and runs because she could, while in the cage, she heard the farmer call Nim to come in and come in a little early to do their job, you know. Because saying, "Oh, yeah, have you seen any unusual activity with the rats, you know, or anything like that, you know?" Because the reason why they want to go to Thorn Valley because they've been stealing, you know, all the stuff from the farmers, which they're forced to do, but they don't want to do it, you know. But of course, Jenner, he still wants to do that though. So Mrs. Brady tries to tell them. Mrs. Jenner hits her away, and then Justin knows that he killed Nicodemus, and they both get in a sword fight. And you get some little bit of, like I said, how the way it is, and you also get a little bit of blood in it as well. You know, like when Mrs. Bridley cut herself trying to get out of the birdcage, or when Jenner gets into a sword fight with Justin, cuts his arm, and he stabs Sullivan. You know, gets some blood here. You know, you get a little bit of blood for this kind of for this animation film. You know, okay, that's why I agree with how. Look, see how this film was, how it's really dark and atmospheric, you know, in the way its animation looks, you know. So they get in a sword fight. Justin stabs Jenner, but he's still able to move, you know, and he's about to kill Justin. Sullivan, who's still alive, throws a knife at and stabs him in the back. Stabs Jenner in the back, and he's like, and then falls down dead, and then Sullivan dies as well, you know. So, but what was it? Mrs. Brisby knows her children are safe and sight, but the brick or block, you know, starts sinking into the mud. You know, they're trying to lift it up, but it's no good. It's too heavy, so it starts sinking into the mud. And then the stone starts glowing, you know, when Mrs. Brisby gives her the magic power to use all the ropes that's attached to the block, and helps lift it all the way over to the other side of the stone, you know. Animation of the way the magic of the stone looked, you know, really wonderful, you know. This is, you know, but I'll get to that in a second. So it's very successful. You know, you see like Nicodemus' reflection inside the stone. You know, saying one with courage and heart. You know, when rarely, you know, using it. You know, and all and even like the next morning or day. You know, all the other rats have gone. They've gone to the great Thorn Valley. You know, and Timmy is all better, but Mrs. Brively tells him you still need to stay inside, you know. Um, and one of her daughters is bandaging up both her hands, you know, because I guess from the hole in the stone, this was like red hot, you know, I guess. And then Jeremy he comes in with all lost drink, because earlier she told Mrs. Brively told him to help pull the block up. She needs a lost string, so he comes back with the lost string, but now they don't need no more, and he's like, what am I gonna do with all this string, you know? Because he said he wanted to use the string to build a love nest, you know. But he said, who's gonna like me? Who's gonna find like a crow like me, you know? And of course, there's a female crow that acts just like him, you know, bumps into him, you know. And they're all laughing, you know, pulling the string, you know. And they both fly away into the sky, you know, and the end credits roll, you know. I love The Secret of NIMH. I'm sure a lot of people who've seen this film really, like I said before, a lot of people who've seen this film, they probably consider it a classic film as well, you know. I really do agree it's a very absolute classic animated film, you know, one of the best. It's not the best, but it's one of the best. I really enjoy, like I said, that how the Don Bluth, you know, making the animation, you know, with its dark, gritty, you know, fantasy film, you know, as well. I really love how the animation looked for that to fit the darkness, the darkness style of the animation, you know. I really do enjoy the score. It's by Jerry Goldsmith. Like I said before about Jerry Goldsmith, he's a great music composer. He did a lot of great films, you know. And I really did enjoy the score by Jerry Goldsmith. He did a good job with the score. And the film was critically acclaimed, you know, everywhere. The film was critically acclaimed, and it has a 7.6 on IMDb, and has a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's really great, you know. It was released in July. Well, it had its limited release was July 2nd, 1982, but then a wide release on July 16th. July 16th in 1982, you know. And of course, the film was not that big of a hit because that time, 1982, that's the summer, you know. E.T. the extraterrestrial was taking away all the box office money, you know. So the film was not really that big. Did not make that big of a hit, sadly, you know. Looking up the budget was like $7 million. Yeah, good looking for a $7 million budgeted animated film. It made like overall $14 million, so it doubled its budget, you know. But that was it. Yeah, I wish this film was a really big hit, you know. But it was successful. It was just a modest success overall, so I'm fine with it, you know. I just want to look up other things about it. It won a Saturn Award for Best Animated Film. That's good. It was also nominated for Best Fantasy Film. I could definitely see the fantasy in this. Even in I guess it said really given Don Bluth made a speech saying thanks, but I didn't think anyone would have noticed it, you know. The film was also nominated for Best Family Feature and for Animation, Musical, or Fantasy at the 4th Annual Youth and Film Awards. Okay. And also in home video, we received the award for excellence for the film adversary board. So the film was really good enough, and I guess it was also, I guess looking up, it was also a hit on VHS as well. Because this film was such a great film, I could see why it was a huge hit on video, you know. Well, what other stuff? Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert, they both gave it a thumbs up. That's good. Let's see, what would they both praised it, you know. We'll start with Roger Ebert. He said that he gave the film a 3 out of 4 stars, saying that he called it an artistic success, praising the quality of its animation. Yeah, I could definitely see that. the animation looks really top notch, you know. And it said it contains the absolute rarity among feature-length animation cartoons and interesting premise. I agree with that. The premise was really interesting, a really creative premise as well, you know. But also that he also stated that found that NIMH was said that found that Secret of NIMH may not resonate as well on an emotional level with younger viewers, since it has so many characters and involves them in so many different problems that there's nobody for the kids and the audience to strongly identify with. Well, if younger kids, you like, well, I guess I'm saying if younger kids, you know, like ages like about let's say like I'll put like 10 or under, you know, they probably don't understand what was going on. Probably, maybe that was the case, but I could, of course know works with older people, you know, like me, you know. I get the understanding of all the problems they have, but I guess for like a young audience wouldn't understand, you know. But well, I guess I can see that. I guess that's what it means. And then G Siskel, he also gave the film 3 out of 4 stars. He said the movie was charming. Okay, I could see that as well. He also said that the narrative was littered with too many unimportant characters, and that Dom DeLuise inserted too much of himself into the character of Jeremy. Well, yeah, because this is such a dark film. There's only one thing. Has a bit of a comedy aspect to it, and that's Dom DeLuise's character is Jeremy. But I would disagree with that though, because I like Dom DeLuise. I like his character of Jeremy. You know, just mixing all this darkness, edgy fantasy film, it bring a little bit of comedic volume with the character of Jeremy. You know, I guess I can get what he's saying though, because of the characters that Dom DeLuise plays. You know, but I can disagree because I can disagree on that part because I like Dom DeLuise. I like Jeremy. You know, because Dom DeLuise did a good job voicing. But also said he said that the second half is a genuine pleasure. You know, that it felt that even adults can be drawn into the story by the end. I could see why. Yeah, the second half was getting to it. You know, was good as well. So yeah. So I guess I just want to say because you know I like Gene Siskel and Roger how they think about on films. You know. They're just doing it now. They're no longer with us, you know. So, but I can get where they're coming from, you know. I know I disagree on things, but I get what they're saying, you know. I respect their opinions, you know, because they're well-known film critics, you know. But I'm glad they praised the film, even despite some of the nitpicks though. But I get what they're saying though. But absolutely, I love the Secret of NIMH. You know, it's always be one of the classic films of its time. You know, and of course, they made a direct-to-video sequel, which I did, a while ago. I had it, but then I got rid of it because it was probably a lot of people think it was a bad, pointless sequel. You know, because it's called Secret of NIMH 2: Timmy to the Rescue, in which Timmy is the hero, you know, and Mrs. Brisby is barely in it at all, you know. Even though Dom DeLuise came back as Jeremy, though, but that didn't save the film, you know. Even got a couple of also notable, recognizable voices. William H. Macy, he voices Justin. I like William H. Macy as an actor. I would say I did not mind him voicing as Justin, you know. And Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid, you know. The original Karate Kid, he voiced Timmy as a teenager, you know. And Eric Idle as also older Martin as well, who somehow turned out to be a bad guy, but turned good at the end though. But he's like at first it was changed because of NIMH, you know. But he got smarter and did something to the humans. I forget though, but. But also Eric Idle. For those who know, Eric Idle, I almost remember him in I also remember seeing him Casper as Dibs, you know. But yeah, they voiced that though. So yeah, a couple of recognizable voice actors in the sequel though. But the film the film itself was not that good, because like I said, even there was a statue of Jonathan though, but even they made a statue of Timmy as well, but I'm thinking, well, what about Mrs. Brisby? She was a hero in the first film, who helped save her family with the stone, saved her family from drowning in the mud and from the sinking of the cinder block, and she's not a hero. They don't consider her as a hero in the sequel, not even a statue next to her husband, I just don't get it, I just don't get it. That's why I had the DVD, but I got rid of it, because it was that bad, It's basically, if anyone who loves the first film and who've seen the sequel and dislike it, I totally understand that, because it's basically, I like, there's tons of anime films, like even sequels, I do like though, but there are certain times that not every single anime film was good, but I know there are certain bad ones, and that one is one of them, So yeah, basically just ignore the sequel and just continue watching this. And now also looking up, reading up, and now recently, they're gonna do a reboot of it. And of course, this is a classic anime film. From my perspective, first of all, they should not reboot this film at all. Just leave it as it is. Leave it to be a very beloved anime classic film. And because not only that's gonna be a reboot, they're gonna have a CGI live action film, like with the Smurfs, like the Smurfs, the 2011, the 2003 films, Smurfs and Smurfs 2, that kind. They're gonna do a CG live action film, just like the Smurfs films, which I do listen. I do like both the films, but with a CG live action of this, it's not needed. But of course, they already planned to make it. The people who decided to do this have made up their minds already, so they don't give a fuck what I say, So continue doing what they want. Or anyone else who've heard about this, they don't want this at all. What are they gonna do? They're not gonna listen to people who are fans of this film. They're not gonna listen. And it's also going to be a screenwriter from who's doing another Ice Age film, Ice Age 5, by the screenwriter of the Ice Age 5 film, doing the screenplay for this reboot. I like the Ice Age films. I would even say Ice Age 5 would consider be better than a reboot of a classic animated film. And even of course there was hardly other people. Well, like I said, if there's anyone who has ever seen the film, who's never seen the film, I advise to go check it out. But a lot of people do enjoy this film, and of course, there's one particular person, who says that the film looks boring and lame. And of course, I would point out is my brother, of course, but this is my brother we're talking about. The way his mind works, Yeah, but that's just him. But yeah, he said he took a look. He's never seen the film. He took a look at the trailer and he says it looks boring and lame. Yeah, that's my brother though. But I don't care about his opinion. I care about my opinion and other people's opinions. If anyone if anyone else who does not like the film, I totally respect your opinions. I do. I'm not gonna hate on anybody for saying that. No, I don't do that. It's just my brother is just he confuses me, But to anyone else, I totally respect your opinions. For if you decide not to like the film, that's fine. More power to you. But to everyone else, I'm pretty sure that I'll give it an estimate like 90% or even 85% who do enjoy this film. So yeah. I'm gonna give him 40 minutes in, and why not? This is one of the classic animated films that deserves a long review, But yeah. But so this is my review for The Secret of NIMH. Classic, it'll always forever remain a classic animated film. If anyone who's a fan of Don Bluth, follow up on his other films. With this film, The Land Before Time, American Tail, All Dogs Go to Heaven, or Anastasia. And for anyone who's worth it to see his other films, like A Pebble and the Penguin, or even A Troll in Central Park, or Titan A.E. and that was his last film. That was a flop, and that was it for Don Bluth, Which is sad, but because he was a great director, directing. Okay, I'll put like 5 animated films. That's one including Anastasia, So yeah. This is hard for me to say. Which one is the best one? This film, or Land Before Time, or All Dogs Go to Heaven? For those 3 films, for me, I can't, because those three films I really do enjoy from Don Bluth, and I can't put which one is number 1. I can't do that. But top 3 films, yes. Like I said, Don Bluth, great job with the film. Especially I love the darkness, how it's dark, edgy, and the fantasy stuff aspects, the premise of the film, the ideas, great voice casting, Elizabeth Hartman, excellent as Mrs. Brisby. It's too bad about what happened to her, Dom DeLuise, I like him as Jeremy. Other characters, Derek Jacobi as Nicodemus, John Carradine as the Great Owl, Arthur Malet as Mr. Ages, Peter Strauss as Justin, Paul Shenar as Jenner. They all did a good job. And also looking up as the voice of Martin, one of the Mrs. Brisby's other sons, is voiced by Will Wheaton. Really enough, Will Wheaton, Wesley from Star Trek, Next Generation, and he was also like the other film review that I did, a Flubber. He was also in that film. Yeah, really enough, he voiced Martin. I think that's Martin right there, So yeah. I thought that was kind of funny, So yeah, great voice casting. I really do enjoy the score by Jerry Goldsmith. Really good score by Jerry Goldsmith. And I'm glad the film has a 96% Rotten Tomatoes. That's because I definitely see why it has such high ratings. This film has such high ratings because this is a great. Even though if you look at the theoretical poster, you can see how the way the film is. It's dark and magic fantasy stuff. So yeah, what can I say? So yeah, if anyone who still hasn't seen this film, check it out, and it's okay if you don't like it, or you like or don't like it, Even some positive reviews from here. A perfect treat for the entire family. The Secret of NIMH will delight kids everywhere. Yeah. Basically. Yeah, so that's basically it. So yeah, pretty much like I said. Ignore the sequel. Just keep watching the first film. And a reboot CG live action film, if it ever does happen, and I'll wait if it does happen, I'll wait to see a trailer for it to see if then I'll judge it, But just for the idea of rebooting it, it's not needed, But if it does happen, I'll wait to see a trailer for it to see if it's good or not. I like there's CG live action films I do like, like I said, like I mentioned before, the Smurfs, or Space Jam. That's a CG live action film by. I need to do a review of Space Jam because that's another CG live action film I do enjoy, absolutely love. So I'll have to review that one day down the road. Or G-Force, but you get what I'm saying, CG live action. So yeah. But we have to wait for it though. if it does happen. So, but for now, just continue watching this one. This is such a hell of a classic animated film. Definitely one of my favorites, and probably to a lot of people as well. So that's my review for The Secret of NIMH. Classic animated film, without a doubt. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next movie review. Later.